moved away from the Barcelona circuit to the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. It's the 7th round of the season. Welcome to the Belgium Grand Prix in the heart of the Ardennes Forest. We now have a completed calendar. After Belgium, we head off to Italy and Tuscany to complete our next head of triple headers before the Russian Grand Prix, and then we begin with the Eiffel Grand Prix at the Nürburgring. Portugal and Emilia-Romagna is at the Imola circuit. Then we get Turkey now back on the calendar on the 13th of November, Bahrain, Shakir on the outer circuit, and the season rounds out at Abu Dhabi on the 13th of December. Christmas is coming. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton leads the way on 132 points. He's 37 clear of Max Verstappen. Then we get Valtteri Bottas, Charles Leclerc. A battle between Stroll, Albon and Norris is closing. Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz and Daniel Ricciardo rounds out the top 10 of the point-scoring positions. On the second page, Sebastian Vettel is on 16 points, the same as Esteban Ocon. Pierre Gasly, Nico Hülkenberg 14th, Antonio Giovinazzi, Danny Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen, and no points on the board still for Kimi Raikkonen, Nicholas Latifi, George Russell or Romain Grosjean, all pointless so far in the 2020 campaign. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way, 221 points ahead, 86 to Aston Martin Red Bull. The battle between Racing Point, McLaren and Ferrari is closing, just 1 point between each of them. Then we get Renault, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Haas F1 and Williams is still pointless in 2020 but have got a lifeline as they've just got a new owner to inject some cash into the team. Hello everybody and welcome to the Grand Review podcast for the 2020 Belgium Grand Prix at Spa. A weekend that was dominated by Mercedes and a nightmare for Ferrari to forget. It all started pretty well though. Let's take a look what happened in free practice 1. Okay then, let's get into the free practice 1 report then for real this time. It's Valtteri Bottas who leads the timesheets as well. Ferrari engines struggling massively, so much so that Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen will have a new power unit fitted going into free practice 2. They don't need a demotion on the grid because they are already within the 3 power units they are allowed to use, but still a major blow for all of the Ferrari competitors. But it was Bottas celebrating his 31st birthday today, who came out with a lot of energy for free practice 1 here at Spa. Topped the timesheets of 1:44.493. His teammate Lewis Hamilton was just behind him as well, both of them completing their runs on the soft compound tyre, which this weekend is the C4. And again, the tyres are a step softer than what we had here last year. So already in our minds we're thinking, okay, Pirelli, softer tyres, we're going to be in a little bit of an interesting situation to see exactly what's going to happen. Whether or not we'll have some punctures, who knows? But still, it was the same top 3 once again, because Max Verstappen rounded out the top 3. Them two have had more podiums this year than any other combination put together. It's been completely unbelievable. The 2 Racing Points, Sergio Perez ahead of Lance Stroll, rounded out the top 5 nicely as well. It was worrying for Ferrari as well. 14th and 15th quickest as well. Only the 2 Williamses were behind them, and they were separated by less than 200ths of a second. So already Ferrari are struggling here as well. Alfa Romeo not doing well, Ferrari not doing well, Haas not doing well. All of the Ferrari engine cars are struggling at this low downforce circuit, so we're not expecting them to do well throughout the weekend. Alexander Albon, who 1 year ago made his debut at this circuit, of course, he was P6 as well. Just half a second off his teammate of Max Verstappen, who finished in 3rd place. Renault McLaren occupied 7 to 10 as well. Ocon the fastest, followed by Carlos Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris rounded out the top 10 as well. The midfield battle really is hotting up. Just 1 point separate of Racing Point, Ferrari and McLaren, and bringing to that as well Renault starting to get their act together. The midfield battle really is strong. When was the last time we talked about Ferrari being a midfield team? Alpha Touray as well, Kvyat and Gasly 11th and 12th going forward. Kimi Raikkonen, very impressive 13th, the highest of the Ferrari running cars as well. Disappointing, as I said, for Charles Leclerc. Won this race last year. Ferrari led every single practice session and qualifying and the race last year. How fortunes turn around. 12 months later, they're struggling at the back of the field as well. Latifi 16th, ahead of George Russell in 17th. Romain Grosjean didn't get out on the track, either did Kevin Magnussen, and Alfa Romeo had unexplained issues as well, but he was out in free practice too, so Giovinazzi kept out. So 3 runners failing to make the timesheets in free practice 1. Let's take a close look at those times now and the results in full from the first practice session. So Valtteri Bottas tops the first practice session at 1:44.493. Then we get Lewis Hamilton in second place on a 1:44.562. Dropping down the order, Max Verstappen third at 1:44.574. Sergio Perez fourth at 1:44.629. Lance Stroll rounds out the top 5 at 1:44.868. Alexander Albon in 6th at 1:45.049. Esteban Ocon is 7th at 1:45.099. Then we get Carlos Sainz in 8th at 1:45.222. Danny Ricciardo is 9th on a 1:45.225. Lando Norris rounds out the top 10 at 1:45.274. Danny Kvyat is 11th at 1:45.447. Pierre Gasly 12th on a 1:45.503. Kimi Raikkonen 13th at 1:45.704. Charles Leclerc 14th at 1:45.759. Sebastian Vettel 15th at 1:46.179. Nicholas Latifi 16th on a 1:46.488. George Russell 17th at 1:46.570. Drivers without times on the board: Kevin Magnussen 18th, Romain Grosjean 19th, and Antonio Giovinazzi is 20th. With rain predicted throughout the weekend, free practice 2 would be their last chance to get some dry running in. Let's see what happened in FP2. Let's move on then to the second practice session. A little bit more interesting than the first session, I might add, but it was the same general feel. Mercedes lagging in the actual runs, hiding their true pace going into what is going to be qualifying tomorrow. But it was a refreshing top 3. It was Max Verstappen fastest at what is technically now his home Grand Prix. He lives on the Belgium-Dutch border, of course, and without the Netherlands here this year, it is his home Grand Prix. But no fans in attendance, unfortunately, once again, as per the rules and regulations. But he still topped the timesheets at 1:43.744. Danny Ricciardo surprised everyone and put it in P2 as well. However, he suffered a hydraulic issue going up Rouge into Radion, and just before he got the camel straight, he was told to switch off the car. A loss of hydraulic pressure, he stopped the car, and that brought out the virtual safety car as well for the car to be recovered. But 10 minutes before the end of the session, one of the advertisement banners at the side of the track coming out of La Source came loose, and that forced a red flag. Fly Emirates, well, they flew away onto the track, and that stopped the running for a couple of moments. Lewis Hamilton rounded out the top 3 nicely. The top 3 separated by less than 100th of a second. That is exciting news going forward. Alexander Albon was 4th, with Sergio Perez in 5th place as well. Alexander Albon wasn't quite able to match the one-lap pace that Verstappen was showing on the soft compound tyre. He was down the order as well. Racing Point did well enough in their running order. 5th for Perez. Bottas was 6th for Mercedes. Lando Norris overcame an early power unit issue when he was told to use a different gear selecting into the La Source hairpin and turn 18 as well at the bus stop, just changing a few gears and changing a few of the positions, and he was okay to continue. Of course, it's a year on since he made that team radio. It's broken when he had no drive on the last lap. He was on for his best result at the time, which was 5th place. Of course, he's better than that now. He had 3rd place back in Austria and another 5th place in Styria as well. Racing Point's Lance Stroll was 11th, his best lap on the medium compound tyres, failing to improve on his time on the soft run as well. Alpha Touray was P12. for Danny Kvyat as well. Lower down, it was a bad day for Ferrari once again. It was Charles Leclerc in 15th, Sebastian Vettel 17th. Leclerc 1.7 seconds off the pace in total. They have got a lot of work to do going into qualifying tomorrow. Following their failures in the first session, Grosjean and Magnussen emerged from the pits with 55 minutes gone into the session, so they only had 35 to go in the session. P19 and P20, but they're glad to have some track time going forward. Giovinazzi didn't set a lap time overall in the morning session, 13th in this session though. Raikkonen was the fastest of the Ferrari-powered cars. George Russell found himself in opposition, splitting the Ferraris in P16. Nicholas Latifi was behind Vettel in 18th, but just behind as well. So it looks like coming into qualifying tomorrow, Red Bull seem to have the pace, but Mercedes can always turn something up. For the last time, we have party mode going into this weekend, but we understand that the teams might not use it. And with it being a wet qualifying prediction, who knows what's going to happen? Let's take a look at the times from free practice 2. So Max Verstappen tops the second practice session on a 1:43.744. Daniel Ricciardo is second for Renault, a 1:43.792. Lewis Hamilton third on a 1:43.840. Alexander Albon is fourth on a 1:44.134. Sergio Perez rounds out the top 5, a 1:44.137. Valtteri Bottas is 6th on a 1:44.162. Then we see Lando Norris 7th on a 1:44.168. Esteban Ocon is 8th on 1:44.208. Carlos Sainz 9th on 1:44.474. And Pierre Gasly rounds out the top 10 on a 1:44.6. Then we drop down and see Lance Stroll in 11th on a 1:44.678. Then 12th for Danny Kvyat at 1:44.826. Antonio Giovinazzi 13th at 1:44.861. Kimi Raikkonen 14th on a 1:44.896. Then we see Charles Leclerc 15th on a 1:45.440. George Russell 16th on a 1:45.463. Sebastian Vettel 17th on 1:45.683. Nicholas Latifi is 18th on 1:45.774. Romain Grosjean 19th on a 1:45.834. And Kevin Magnussen is 20th on 1:46.242. Dry for free practice 3, but there was drama all the way around this circuit. Let's take a look at what happened in FP3. Hello everybody, welcome to the Saturday practice review then. Let's get straight into it with what happened in FP3. Lewis Hamilton topping the timesheets by 0.2 of a second, surprising everyone, with Esteban Ocon in second. Lando Norris went third fastest. Albon and Bottas completed the top 5. Better yesterday for Bottas and Albon, getting more improved up. Esteban Ocon surprising everybody. But the biggest thing was the fact that for once again we had a lot of rain at the circuit that washed away all of the rubber. But also a factor to add into all of this is the fact that when the teams went to go on their qualifying simulations, they all backed up at the bus stop. And that led to a Monza 2019 situation where nobody wanted to head out onto the track. We're in a lot of trouble here. That happens during qualifying. But let's just quickly take a look at what happened further below. Ferrari cars low down. Leclerc 17th, Vettel in 20th. It's looking bad overall for them. Not much happened in this session, but it was still an interesting one to say the least. But everyone was saving their tyres ahead of qualifying. Let's take a look at the full times from FP3. So Lewis Hamilton tops the third practice session then on a 1:43.255. Esteban Ocon is second on 1:43.485. Then we get Lando Norris in third place at 1:43.641. Dropping below that, Alexander Albon in fourth place at 1:43.731. Valtteri Bottas fifth at 1:43.813. Max Verstappen is sixth on a 1:43.896. Daniel Ricciardo 7th on a 1:43.973. Then we get Lance Stroll 8th fastest on a 1:43.988. Carlos Sainz is 9th at 1:44.066. And Sergio Perez rounds out the top 10 at 1:44.180. Then we get into 11th place with Pierre Gasly, a 1:44.508. Danny Kvyat is 12th on a 1:44.543. Nicholas Latifi 13th on a 1:44.771. Kevin Magnussen 14th on a 1:44.841. Romain Grosjean 15th on a 1:44.844. Kimi Raikkonen 16th on a 1:44.932. Charles Leclerc surprisingly 17th with the Ferrari, a 1:45.147. George Russell 18th on a 1:45.157. Antonio Giovinazzi 19th, a 1:45.190. And Sebastian Vettel in 20th, a 1:45.420. Qualifying drama, here's your highlights. Commentary comes from Joshua Birch.
Qualifying 1.
And the green light is on, and the first part of qualifying begins for the 2020 Belgium Grand Prix. 18 minutes ahead of us, all 20 cars will head out onto the track. The first two out there, Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean in the two Haas cars, who had limited running in the practice sessions due to multiple power unit issues and changes. Magnussen as well didn't get much running in free practice number 3 either. He has a new gearbox going into this qualifying session as well. But the question of the hour is, are the two Ferraris going to get through into the next part of qualifying? Sebastian Vettel was 20th in this morning's free practice 3 session. Charles Leclerc was 17th fastest. Both the Haas cars were quicker, and we know that around this circuit at the moment it seems that the Ferrari engines are struggling, so we are going to sit back and wonder what is going to happen next. First times coming on the board then. Kevin Magnussen across the line does a 1:45.377. His teammate Grosjean just behind him, a 1:45.073 across the board. Goes faster. Lando Norris coming on the track, same as Max Verstappen. We have a line of cars coming out, and this is a replay of Kevin Magnussen coming into the La Source hairpin and just getting over the rumble strippers at the exit. On board once again, coming through turn 8 at Malmedy, down the hill towards Ravage, and the car looks very unstable. And at the exit of Stavolo, he went all 4 wheels off the road before coming into the curve de Prix. So I'm just wondering if Magnussen will have his lap times deleted. We'll keep an eye on that from the stewards now as we see more cars heading out onto the track. So Verstappen top, Norris goes into second place. Verstappen is top, a 1:43.480. Gasly now goes second, a 1:43.475. Lando Norris into third place, and then Kvyat goes into fourth. 10 minutes to go of the session, and these are the first times coming on the board now. Coming across now, Charles Leclerc looking quite good. Leclerc fifth, a 1:44.228. That's not a great lap time coming across the line, but Carlos Sainz knocks it out of the park. A 1:43.322 for Carlos Sainz, puts it into P1. Sergio Perez goes P4 now. Russell 7th, 1:44.142. Ocon 4th, 1:43.505. All looking good times on the board. On board with Lewis Hamilton coming through Stavolo, a downhill section of the track. Vettel 10th, 1:44.554. Ricciardo now goes top. Renault Power looking extremely good here this weekend. A 1:43.309 for him. Latifi 11th, 1:44.299. Hamilton and Bottas on good lap times. Giovinazzi goes into 12th place, a 1:44.274. Raikkonen 14th, 1:44.3. Here comes Hamilton out of the bus stop chicane, riding the curves a little bit too much. I wonder if the stewards might take a look at that and delete his lap time, but it's a top time for Hamilton, a 1:42.323. The first man in the weekend into the 1:42s. His teammate Bottas does it as well, a 1:42.534 for Bottas. So we have our running order at the moment. It's Hamilton from Bottas, Ricciardo, Sainz, Verstappen the top 5, Albon, Stroll, Gasly, Ocon, Perez rounds out 10, Norris, Kvyat, Russell, Leclerc and Giovinazzi to 15th. In the elimination zone at the moment, we have Giovinazzi, Latifi, Raikkonen, Vettel, Grosjean and Magnussen, and Hamilton was very wide off the track at several points on that lap time, including at the exit of Blanchimont. 2 minutes 40 remaining, and we have a sort of traffic jam situation going on as we come into the Jackie Hicks corner at turn number 9. And we've got now Leclerc backing the field up in order to get a position to Vettel. The two Haas cars are going side by side. Here is Leclerc. We've got the Alfa Touray just ahead. Gasly, Grosjean and Kvyat, I believe, are just going to punch it. They have, and have just gone. Leclerc's caught up in this battle as the Williams gets involved now. That's George Russell, and they're all now just sort of in the way. Gasly's too slow is what Danny Kvyat is saying. We've got Racing Point side by side with Vettel. One of the cars on the grass now trying to cut corners at the final chicane, and it's all getting messy again. 2 minutes to go in qualifying. 1 minute 50 now. And now we've got Vettel backing up. Right, Leclerc's now at the head of that little group that is coming up now towards Blanchimont. He's got ahead of Grosjean, Gasly, Russell and Magnussen. Vettel now ahead of Perez, Magnussen, Stroll. So sorry, the Magnussen's back there. They're all sort of just queuing up, and now they're all going to file into the bus stop, and they're all going to back up time. Leclerc's just gone. He's gone for it now. He crosses the line, a minute 19 to go. He gets one more lap in and pulls into La Source with a good exit on those soft compound tyres trying to get into Q2. I remind you that Bottas has actually gone out again. I don't know why, but Bottas is now going very slowly coming through Blanchimont. Lando Norris has practically stopped as well on the track. He's crawling so slowly. As everyone now tries to get a gap, it's Leclerc, followed by Grosjean, Gasly, Russell, with a nice gap to Kvyat, Vettel, and then we get Perez, Magnussen, Stroll, Latifi, Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Norris and Bottas, all running around the track in that order. They've all managed to space out and get a group. Has become just a single lap format. 30 seconds left on the clock. Here comes Leclerc through Jackie Hicks corner, down towards Puong, turn 10. And his entrance speed looks good. His exit speed through Puong, is it quicker? 288, not the best we've seen, but it's alright. 15 seconds left on the clock. Giovinazzi 15th at the moment. And the 10 seconds left on the clock, we've got Latifi, Magnussen, Raikkonen, Vettel and Grosjean in the drop zone. Ferrari looking to be kicked out for the first time since the British Grand Prix in 2014 to be eliminated in a Q1 session. It's never happened in the dry. Has a driver been kicked out of qualifying who drives for Ferrari? So this could be something new. Charles Leclerc approaches the bus stop chicane now. He will be the first man to take the checkered flag. He's 14th at the moment. He too could be eliminated, so this better be a good lap. Across the line now, it's 12th for 143.656. Here comes Romain Grosjean. He goes into 13th. We have a yellow on the track in sector 3. It's gone green now. Gasly goes into 4th place. George Russell goes 12th. Good on George. 143.630. Kvyat rockets to 5th. So if Vettel gets through, he'll kick out Grosjean, and if anyone else goes through, he might kick out Leclerc. Vettel goes into 13th. Perez is 11th. He improves them to 8th place, but now the look is on Giovinazzi, Latifi, Magnussen and Raikkonen improving. Stroll's P10 at the moment. Vettel 13th, Russell 14th, Leclerc 15th at the moment. Stroll's gone P5. Latifi personal best in the second sector. Can only manage 17th fastest. Giovinazzi now goes 17th. Raikkonen goes 16th. So close to kicking out Charles Leclerc. Kevin Magnussen, well, he's looking good. I don't know if Magnussen's backed off on his lap. I'm having a look for him on my monitor. Magnussen, I believe, is in the pit lane. Which means that Charles Leclerc can breathe a sigh of relief. Both Ferraris have just got through, and this is what happened to Magnussen at Stavolo. Catches some oversteer and goes through a trip through the gravel trap, and that is why we had the yellow flag in the third sector. He had gone off at Stavolo. So Magnussen will start last in this Grand Prix, nearly in the barrier, and Gunter Steiner wanted eliminated both of these cars through to qualifying 2 and maybe even Q3. It's definitely not going to happen now, is it? Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Gasly, Stroll, Kvyat, Ricciardo, Sainz, Perez, Albon, Ocon, Norris, Vettel, Russell and Leclerc will progress to qualifying 2. Eliminated from this session, Kimi Raikkonen, Romain Grosjean, Antonio Giovinazzi, Nicholas Latifi and Kevin Magnussen.
Qualifying 2.
And the green light is on and the second part of qualifying is underway. Immediately the two Mercedes head out to the track, followed by the two McLarens. But in this session we will lose the slowest 5 cars. And in Belgium 2019, Ferrari finished first and second in every practice session and qualifying segment. They were fastest through the speed traps and won the race. Now they are fighting to get through to this session. This is going to be a surprise. Can Ferrari make it through to qualifying 3? It was a miracle they got through to qualifying 2 at all. So 15 drivers, 15 minutes. At the end we will lose the slowest 5 from the running order to get the top 10 shootout for 12 minutes of qualifying 3. Cars immediately out onto the track though, which is a great sign. Everybody very much looking forward to seeing what we are going to have on this track. Hamilton coming into the bus stop chicane then on the first run, 42.850 in that second sector. Unbelievable amount of time he's been able to punish those tyres, but he's gone very wide at the exit of the bus stop, a 142.014. Here comes Valtteri Bottas across the line. He should go to second, a 142.126. That's an interesting time. Here comes Button and Lando Norris, and predictably third, a 142.827. Is Sainz going to go any faster? No, Sainz fourth, 142.959. Here comes George Russell. Oh, he's decided to box his lap. He felt compromised, he's saying on the radio. So here comes Lance Stroll, looking behind. Bit wide on the green, but should be okay. 143.256. Gasly just behind him. Third fastest, a 142.777. Ocon third, 142.534. Time's coming down. Ricciardo third, 142.487. Across the line now, Verstappen, and it's a 142.473. And he's just started a lap time now. Once again, across the line now, Sergio Perez, 10th fastest, 143, slowest of the runners so far. Alexander Albon, 6th fastest, 142.722 across the line. Looking good. Quite a good run actually for the runners. So Perez the first in the elimination zone. No time yet for Kvyat, Vettel, Russell or Leclerc. But Russell backed out of it. Here comes Leclerc. And this should be for a position. Yes, it is. Leclerc should now jump up the order somewhere on the line. 15th at the moment. A bit of a mess coming through the last corner. And he's 13th fastest, a 143.959 on those soft compound tyres. Vettel super wide at the exit of the bus stop, way beyond the white lines. I'll have that lap time deleted for sure. A 143.693, 13th fastest for Vettel. Ferrari struggling to get out of Q2 or make it up the running order. Wow. 2 minutes to go then here at the second part of qualifying. The driver at risk of being eliminated is Danny Kvyat. In the drop zone, Sergio Perez, Lance Stroll, Sebastian Vettel, Charles Leclerc and George Russell, who set no time. But the two Ferraris could be eliminated. Perez now on a lap. And if my calculations are correct, he will be the first to cross the line and meet the checkered flag, but he will have another lap if he so wishes. Stroll won't. He crossed the line too late if you look at the timings at the bottom. 1 minute 42 second lap at best, and he's way out of it. Stroll at the moment then 2.5 tenths faster to get into the top 10. Both at the racing points trying to displace, but look at this. Top 10, Hamilton, Bottas, Mercedes, Verstappen, Red Bull, the two Renaults, Ricciardo, Ocon, the Red Bull of Albon, Toro Rosso, also Alfa Tauri of Gasly, two McLarens, and so it's 2 by 2. The 2 McLarens are in, the 2 Alfa Tauris are in, the 2 Red Bulls are in, the 2 Renaults are in, and the 2 Mercedes are in. So our Racing Point gonna throw in the works and probably kick out thinking about it, either the 2 McLarens or the 2 Alfa Tauris. We know that everyone below Verstappen has not gone out. In fact, I think everybody's out on the track. Yes, everyone's out on the track, bar Ricardo. And George Russell, I think, is not out on the track. Russell is out on the track, good. So everybody, bar Ricardo, has now left the pit lane to do a lap time. So 14 of the 15 cars out. So Ricardo better hope he's done enough to get into the next session. 20 seconds left on the board. Here comes Perez to the line. He will be the first to meet it. Greens all sectors, and he goes 6th on a 1:42.670. So that puts out the 2 McLarens. So Stroll goes into 5th place, 1:42. Russell 13th. Oh, Ferrari doing poorly here. Gasly goes 9th, doesn't improve on position. Checkered flag is out. The first one to meet it will be Leclerc, and Leclerc is out of qualifying. 13th fastest. Kvyat goes through into 9th place. So Leclerc is out of qualifying. Here comes Lando Norris, goes 9th place at the moment. So that could kick out Kvyat if he goes through. Ocon stays in 6th place. Carlos Sainz is 12th, rockets to 4th. A 1:42.478. That kicks out Kvyat. Vettel can only manage 14th. My goodness, a shocking run. Ferrari, both of them eliminated in Q2. The season just gets worse and worse. Verstappen, I was about to say, should really back off of that lap time, and he has done. Albon 9th. I think he can back out of it as well, but he improves to 3rd. He obviously thinks those tyres are better. 1:42.193. He'll start the race on the softs. Hamilton, a big slide through the bus stop. Hamilton, Lewis, back off, my man. Back off, and he has. Because that slide would have meant he had to start the race on tyres that were damaged. Bottas as well has backed off of the run. Russell, I believe, isn't setting personal bests and has backed off. So both of the Ferraris are eliminated from qualifying 2. Bleep, there's not much more I can do, Leclerc says on the radio. And I've got the feeling that it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Hamilton, Bottas, Albon, Verstappen, Sainz, Ricciardo, Stroll, Ocon, Perez and Norris go through. The 2 Alfa Romeos are eliminated. The 2 Ferraris are eliminated, and George Russell of Williams, but it is eliminated. Pierre Gasly, Danny Kvyat, Charles Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel and George Russell. Ferrari 13th and 14th in a race they absolutely dominated last year. A shocking turn of events.
Qualifying 3.
And the green light is on, and the third and final part of qualifying is underway. 12 minutes with a total of 10 cars. Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Ocon, Norris, Sainz, Stroll, Perez, all heading out onto the track straight away, actually, to be fair. They're all getting ready for what is going to be an interesting third part of qualifying. I'd just like to point out, I cannot believe that the 2 Ferraris are eliminated. Unbelievable. But still, 5 manufacturers in this third part of qualifying. 5 of the teams of Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, Renault and Racing Point, all into Q3. It's usually 6, so 1 less. But 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 could happen on the race today, so that's interesting. 10 minutes to go. Lewis Hamilton leads Lando Norris around Blanchimont towards the bus stop chicane. And at the moment, we've got a bit of a queue. Here comes Verstappen, Bottas, Ricciardo, Ocon, Albon, Sainz, Stroll and Perez all coming up behind. They've all now got to find some free time as Hamilton launches it down the start-finish straight towards the La Source hairpin. Hard on the brakes, first gear corner. In qualifying mode, it's usually around second gear, so you can limit the torque at the exit, drop down the hill all the way to the entrance of the Red Water, Eau Rouge, up the hill towards turn 4 at Radion, the quick kink, back into the Camel Straight. Open up the DRS, pull the 8th gear as soon as you open the DRS to get maximum speed as you flash down towards the Lacombe chicane. 4th gear corner, Hamilton at 30.463 already as he exits Lacombes into Malmedy. Dropping down the hill, he's very wide in the exit of Malmedy into Ravage, brakes late, misses the first apex, captures the second, coming into the X corner now. Yes, he's named that one perfectly, but he's got a bit too wide. All 4 wheels off the road, behind the white line. We'll have to see what the stewards will say about that. Into Puong at turn 10. Wide again. The stewards did say they will look at Puong in qualifying 3. The Fanya chicane. 5th gear, 118 miles an hour. Push it through. Rising up, Stavolo downhill. And now really punch it at the exit of Stavolo. Curve to Paul Frey. You're flat out now, all the way through Blanchimont towards the bus stop. 180 miles an hour indicated, 190 miles an hour. Can he get nearly 200? 194, 195, 196 as he goes through Blanchimont, flat out. Down now towards the bus stop chicane. 196 miles an hour, hard on the brakes all the way down to just 52 miles an hour. Fire it out to the line, little bit of a wide at the exit. The stewards will look at that. Hamilton a 141, 451, a stellar pole time if that needs to be beaten. Lando Norris goes second at 143, 408. Verstappen at 142.080, so he's improved up the order. Valtteri Bottas to the line, can only do a 142.029. He's out qualified by 0.5 of a second, but Hamilton has got this in the bag. Verstappen third, Albon fourth, Ocon fifth, Ricciardo to third, 142.061. Sainz goes sixth, 142.438. And where is Stroll and Perez? Well, Stroll goes into 8th place. That pushes Lando Norris down to 9th. Sergio Perez is 10th at the moment and goes into 8th place with a 142.532. But it's a new track record around this version of Spa-Francorchamps for Lewis Hamilton, a 141.451, out qualifying Bottas by 0.578 of a second. And that is incredible from Hamilton. And now we'll just have to see what happens in the second run as the clouds start to come in. 2 minutes to go of the Belgium Grand Prix qualifying session for 2020. Look at that, the DAS in operation on Lewis Hamilton's car, trying to get the tyre temperatures into effect. Out of the last corner, brand new set of tyres, punch it out, and here we go again. Hamilton on board as he starts his last qualifying lap. He will meet the line and hopefully either be fastest or not. Hamilton holds the records for most pole positions. It's 5 here at the Belgian Grand Prix. 2008, 2013, 2015, and then doubles in 2017 and 2018. Can he get pole in 2020 after Charles Leclerc took it last year? Down now, out of Radion, down the Camel Straight towards the Lacombe chicane area. 203 miles an hour indicated. 204 flickered as he hits the brakes into, and he's faster. How is he faster than his own best time? Hamilton in the first sector at 30.421, 0.041 of a second faster than his own best lap. That is insanity from Hamilton. He's finding time wherever he goes. He was off the track there, coming into the Jackie Hicks corner through Puong. He's very wide again at the exit of Puong. Let's just keep an eye on that. Bottas' first sector, it's flicking 30.637, not quick enough to beat Hamilton. Ricciardo's time, I can tell you, is looking quite good. He's just coming out now of the first corner down through Eau Rouge and up now, and Hamilton is now a 10th faster than his own best time. He's already set the fastest ever lap around this circuit of a 141.451. Hamilton is going for a 140 lap. This is going to be beyond insanity. It's going to be beyond Mercedes comprehension. This is going to be absolutely out of the park. Hamilton to the line, 2 seconds left, and it's a 141.252. He's 7/10 quicker than Bottas to the line. Bottas can't do it. Did we expect backed into a 1:41 is his best time. Albon stays into 5th place. Verstappen might go 3rd and does on a 1:41.778. He's just a couple of hundredths off. Here comes Lando Norris. He's down but up on his own best time. I don't think this could put him into P8 overall. Same for Ocon, same for Ricciardo. But look at that. Hamilton has out-qualified Bottas by half a second with a new fastest lap, a 1:41.252. It's just beyond belief. Here comes Lando Norris into the last corner now. He exits the bus stop. Coming to the line, the checker flag meets him and greets him with a 10th place position. Esteban Ocon moves up to 6th place, a 1:42.396. Where is Sainz? Here he is. He's had some bad sectors as Carlos Sainz. I don't expect him to move up the order. He doesn't. Sainz stays 7th and everybody else is coming to the pit lane as well. That's it. That's the running order for qualifying. Lewis Hamilton takes pole position for the Belgium Grand Prix by 0.5 of a second to Bottas, a 1:41.252. Bottas' best lap, a 1:41.763. Hamilton takes his 6th career pole at Spa-Francorchamps, and he has just absolutely wiped the floor with competition. Mercedes lock out the front row of the grid once again. Lewis Hamilton on pole position from Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo have row 2. The Ferraris of Leclerc and Vettel 13th and 14th. Your commentators for highlights of the Belgian Grand Prix are Joshua Birch, Megan Birch and Ian Birch.
Round 7, the Belgian Grand Prix.
So Carlos Sainz out of the Grand Prix, does not take the start due to an ECU issue and a blown exhaust. He will not start. Here's the starting tyre. The top 3 starting on the medium compound tyre, and then the rest of the top 10 starting on the softs. Kvyat is on the mediums, Gasly starts on the hards, and then we see softs for Charles Leclerc, and the rest of the fields are on the mediums. For Daniel Ricciardo, though, this is a manna from heaven position to start the race from. He's having a fantastic run. Megan will tell you in a few moments exactly what she thinks of the predicted pit stop strategy, but on here it's a one-stopper. But Megan, if you watched our show this morning, predicting a 2-stop race as well. But it's a 44-lap race. It's a question if the tyres can make it the distance. They're coming to the start. Kevin Magnussen will line up in 20th and last place then. Here we go then, folks. The lights are on for the Belgium Grand Prix. Strap yourselves in for a blast around. It's action at Spa. Good start from Hamilton. Bottas tries to get alongside. Look at Daniel Ricciardo. He's made a great start. Verstappen holds the inside line, but Ricciardo's going to go around the outside. The two Force Indias nearly making contact. Sorry, the two Racing Points nearly making contact. Off the track wide there goes one Pierre Gasly. Up the hill now. This is going to be the big tail game. Look at Esteban Ocon making such a great start. Down now through Radion. Down to the Camel Straight. Pulling out in that massive slipstream. Here comes Max Verstappen. Side by side with Bottas. Ricciardo goes for 3rd place. Does he get it? Yes, he does. The Ferraris leapfrogging a few positions. Charles Leclerc under pressure a little bit. Ricciardo fighting with Verstappen. And Verstappen round the outside. And Malmedy down towards Rivage. And he can't get the move done. Has to hold on. And they're still side by side, Megan. What a great scrap. And Verstappen holds on for 3rd place. And that was so close. But the two Mercedes line astern.
That was dramatic.
It was dramatic as anything I could possibly see. Look at this. Already drama further back. Sebastian Vettel has dropped down the order. And he's 13th at the moment. Kimi Raikkonen wheel to wheel with George Russell and Nicholas Latifi. And Magnussen going for the move. Magnussen gets ahead of Russell for 15th. And Raikkonen's forced out wide as he's passed by half a dozen cars. Through Stavolo. Down the hill now towards Blanchimont, the fast kink. This circuit's got so many great names. Hamilton from Bottas, Verstappen and Ricciardo, but blimey, Ricciardo made him work for it. Great start from Esteban Ocon, up to 5th place as well as they blast now into the bus stop for the first time. Hamilton on those medium compound tyres, the same as the top 3, but Ricciardo, Megan, as we complete the first lap on those soft compound tyres, getting the advantage, but but Verstappen's got the car, and here comes the two. This is Raikkonen versus Russell, and Russell losing out to Raikkonen as we complete the first lap. Meanwhile,
went fast.
that was Perez going through on the inside. Perez making a move on Gasly. Gasly cutting back along the inside. They're going to go side by side, wheel to wheel, through Eau Rouge. They're nearly touching, and my goodness me!
That's close.
That was a brilliant move from Pierre Gasly. Side by side all the way up through Eau Rouge and Radillon. And here comes Lando Norris. He feels like he wants to join the party. And look at this. Perez dives to the outside line. Gasly has the inside into the comms. Norris locks up. And finally, it's stabilised for now, the positions. But my goodness, this is a great start to the race, Meg.
It's certainly a dramatic start.
It is. Do you think that Ricciardo can get back past Verstappen in the latter stages of the race?
Possibly.
As well, and let's take a look at the start. Great launch from the two Mercedes, but Ricciardo on those soft compound tyres immediately into the action in towards turn one.
Hamilton got a good start, and to be honest, I think so did Perez.
Perez got a lightning start, side by side with Esteban Ocon. They nearly, side by side with Lance Stroll, nearly made contact. Look at Ricciardo now. They go Ricciardo and Verstappen in third, side by side for most of this segment as they come through Le Combs down towards Malmedy. There's Lando Norris going off the track. That's why he lost a position. He was battling with Sebastian Vettel. Vettel, I don't want to say left him no room, but he had to back out of it because Pierre Gasly was up the inside as well. So a bit of give and take there, I think, Megs.
Yeah.
Here comes Ricciardo. This is his side-by-side moment with Verstappen. Bravery at one of the hardest parts of the course and off the track at some point as well. Not getting an advantage because off goes Verstappen at Malmedy, dropping down the hill towards Ravage. And here is Pierre Gasly getting past. Yeah, Megan, this was the move Gasly had up the hill towards Eau Rouge. Let's take a look at it side by side. And really, it was a bit too close to call. Perez almost forcing him into the wall at the bottom of Eau Rouge. We saw last year how devastating an accident there could be. That was. Do you think he might get a penalty for that, or at least a warning, Perez?
A warning.
As that is Charles Leclerc being passed, as we saw a couple of laps ago, by Pierre Gasly. The field seems to have stabilised on lap 4 of 44. And here, look at that, Norris defending in the back. Leclerc defending in the background. Norris going through. And that was an easy move because Leclerc locked up at the first corner and the tailwind just carried it up as well. Race control, over to you, Dad.
Don't you think that is absolutely a complete turnaround from 2 or 3 years ago? You'd expected the Ferraris to breeze past the McLaren. In this day and age, it's the other way around. The McLarens are the one that's the dominant force in that little battle. And, you know, they'll do well today. I've also was very impressed with the way Ricciardo managed to attack Verstappen at the start of the race. It was good to see the Renaults actually. Ricciardo says that it's because the car suits the very small amount of rear wing.
Yeah.
And so rather than make it go all over the road, it's actually making it stick better, which is really weird. I don't think they understand it either.
We've got a yellow flag on my timing monitor, and we don't know what it is. Here it is in the third sector. Someone's gone off. I think it's George Russell. Russell's dropped completely. Oh, big accident!
Oh, that's messed up.
That'll be a stoppage. We'll have a red flag for sure. The safety car has been deployed. Race control, what can you see?
I hope George is okay.
It's George Russell and Antonio Giovinazzi.
What is wrong with this track?
That is at the exit of Puong down towards... No, sorry, that's at the exit, the Fagnes chicane down towards Stavolo, and the safety car has been deployed. And miracle! Thank goodness.
Both okay.
Both okay. Antonio Giovinazzi and George Russell get out of the car. But Megan, that is a huge accident car at the exit of Fagnes.
How did that happen?
They're not ready. The tyres aren't ready. So Ferrari have come in to do a pit stop and the tyres aren't ready. Look, there's no one on the rear. Well, I thought we had one when the race started, he says. And out goes that Charles Leclerc putting on the hard compound tyre. But I feel, you two, that debris is a bit too much at quite a short part of the track. We might have a red flag.
For the first time since 2017. I said it earlier.
You said it in
I commentator's curse.
Yeah, you said it in the pre-race show this morning. We've got loads of cars coming out. Race control, over to you. That's Latifi getting caught out by Magnussen. Dad.
Of course.
Yeah, why are they changing tyres when there's almost all this debris on the track?
work.
Yeah, that's quite a silly manoeuvre because the whole of Stavolo,
I would purposely make myself get a puncture.
and look at that. So, okay,
This needs to be red flagged.
I think, there's now debris across the whole of the track at one of the fastest tracks.
It's like, where do I go?
No, okay, the 2001 German Grand Prix, Dad, do you remember when Schumacher and Bertie crashed and there was debris across the track? This needs to be, they're not going to sweep that up. They need to stop the race, give all these guys a new set of tyres and repair the tyre barrier damage.
Ricciardo was just like, what am I doing?
Okay, that's interesting. On board with Antonio Giovinazzi now. We've got a fifth gear. So, okay, let's have a look at what happened.
He was in 7.
Does he lose it? So this is coming into Fania. So this is the Fania chicane.
He's on 4.
What happened? Does he spin across? Oh, I see. He loses it, slams into the barrier, quite similar to a Lamborghini a couple of years ago. He'll bounce back across the track and just collect George Russell. Russell, the complete bystander there.
So it's like, what happened?
Yeah, completely. And Miracle, they're both okay. Okay, the top 3 are in. Hamilton double stacking with Bottas and gets out ahead of Verstappen. Bottas puts the hards on, a slow stop, 3.5 seconds, and crucially, they come out side by side.
Oh, that was dangerous.
Bottas still gets ahead compared to Verstappen. Ricciardo and Ocon in.
Did anyone else notice how the front right tyre was smoking when they put it on?
Yeah, I think that was the brake dust, isn't it? Double stack, and again we're seeing the downfalls of the double stack compared to both the teams. In comes Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly coming in, Alexander Albon, he's at pit exit as well. Here comes Sebastian Vettel putting on some hard compound tyres as well. So Megan, this is their pit stop to the end of the race. They're all putting hard compound tyres on to go to the end of the race.
How many pit stops has this been now?
Pirelli have just tweeted there's a lot of carbon fibre debris on the track and drivers going to have to drive through it, potentially damaging those new tyres. Maybe best to delay. Okay, this is Giovinazzi, gets the oversteer, hits the wall, bounces back across the track. Oh, and Russell actually hits part of the debris from his car and blows off the front tyre way before. That was a huge accident.
I think he hit the wheel.
He did, he hit the wheel. It was, look, watch this. Watch the wheel bounce across the track and bang! And how lucky was that halo? How lucky was that halo?
Also, how lucky that they avoided each other. If they had collided, then
yeah, that would have
they
been
would have had broken bones.
That would have been nasty. Miracle that both drivers are walking away. A complete racing accident. But I'm surprised they haven't stopped the race.
Thankfully, the tether did break, but it reduced the speed, and
Yes.
so it hit his wheel and not his halo.
Absolutely. Look,
Other things hit his halo. Did you notice
yeah,
that?
I did, yeah. And luckily it got deflected. Maybe it's time to look at the Aero screen that IndyCar have got, because the Aero screen in IndyCar have had they've had a lot of tests, haven't they? And it's been quite useful as to see as well. So we're just going to wait to see what Michael Masi, the race director, decides. Of course, if it is red flag, they will come into the pit lane and line up in race order, and then we will wait for a restart, and it will be a standing start restart. So we get that whole 5-light procedure again. Dad?
The two, Gasly and Perez, haven't pitted, and so, are on a different tyre. Were they on a different tyre? Were they on the softs?
According to Perez is on softs for 11 laps, yes, and he's the only one who hasn't pitted, and Gasly's on the hard compound tyres, so Gasly's good for a while now.
Gasly, yeah, because Gasly hasn't pitted.
So we've avoided a red flag after a massive incident here at Spa. Both Antonio Giovinazzi and George Russell are okay. The safety car is coming in. There's no overtaking until the green flag. So effectively we have had a stoppage, because this has now bunched the whole pack up on different tyre compounds. Away we go again. I don't know why the drivers are already going for positions. There is no overtaking until the start-finish line, which was we come out of the bus stop. Here we go then for 31 laps, and it's go again. Good start from Hamilton. Bottas as well, holding the advantage. The two Renaults are in a bit of a battle with Alexander Albon. A good restart from everybody into La Source, and now we come again. The long drag down Air Rouge, up Radion and the Camel Straight. This is where we'll see the real power. The Team Mercedes blasting away. My look is for fourth place. Look at Perez. Perez versus Gasly. They are looking incredibly close for contact. Here we go. There's the fan cam, as I said, at the back, down towards the chicane area. Gasly's on the back of Verstappen already. Ricciardo having to defend from Albon. Perez wasn't able to get through there, and it's a clean restart as that was Lando Norris trying to get past Lance Stroll. Stroll cutting back through at the second part of Le Combe into Malmedy. Ricciardo goes a little bit too deep. Albon sensed an opportunity into the Jackie Eakes corner now at turn 9 before Puong. And again, Megan, they're just all having quite a calm restart, but we're not near the Fania chicane yet.
I said this race was going to be dramatic.
You said it was, and it is dramatic. It's dramatic in every sense of the word. Okay, this is Kimi Raikkonen on a replay, and he's gone for a move on Sebastian Vettel. Old teammates, of course.
He's just like, hi, remember me?
Down the inside. That's a lovely move. Vettel tried. Look at that. The Alfa Romeo quicker than the Ferrari. Sister car faster than mother car. Unbelievable. I think it's just a case of it can't get any worse for Ferrari. I don't think it can. I do not know how it could possibly get worse for Ferrari. It is now lap 19, by the way, the lap in honour of Antoine Hubert, who sadly passed away a year ago today. Dad, race control?
I was just going to say, it's lap 19.
Yeah. Into the pit lane comes Sergio Perez then to take. Well, he hasn't pitted yet, as Dad said earlier on in the broadcast. So this is him going for a pit stop. And look at that, Ferrari power now 11th. Is that rain?
You're not in the points.
Is that rain? No. Some sort of pollen falling off the track there. As we come up now towards Eau Rouge and Raillon, the top of the hill. And Perez is 17th at the moment. The two Ferraris now go side by side with each other. Vettel puts his car in the middle of the track. Leclerc pulls to the outside. And Vettel's not going to let it go.
Oh,
they're going to make contact. How did they not make contact?
They did. They kind of... Leclerc kind of just like nudged his wheel against the
ever so slight kiss there.
Yeah.
That was close. That would have been a big incident. We saw that.
And on lap 19, are you serious, you two?
We saw that this morning with Dan Ticktum and Nobuharu Matsushita in the Formula 2 race, the contacts that them two can have.
What is it with people today? It's just like, they're all just like, let's crash.
Let's take another look at it. How close did that front wing get to the rear tyre? They did touch, you're right, Megan, they did touch wheels. And Vettel sort of forced Leclerc out. Vettel seemed to move over ever so slightly to touch the side. I'm not sure if that was a racing incident or just a plain, I need to get round this part of the track.
You can see one of the mechanics just going like, what?
It is, we've just had lap 19. Side-by-side action coming down the straight. Well, I feel completely bad for Sergio Perez. He's in a racing point. He's in a sandwich to go side-by-side with the AlphaTauri of Kvyat, and that was a golden move round the outside of Le Combe. He had the move done even before. That was textbook. Megan, tyre check.
Tyre performance, basically, Bottas is doing better than Hamilton, though neither of them are good, and it's 30% mainly.
I'd just like to remind you, if you get a puncture on this track, you're not getting it to the end of the lap. Final lap then of the Belgium Grand Prix. Hamilton leads the way, 6.9 seconds to Bottas, then to Verstappen. 7 seconds now. Hamilton has just checked out at the front, and that's, I don't want to say unbelievable, but it's certainly different to have that advantage.
Yeah, though I think Hamilton will win this.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. 7 seconds now. We're all just watching the tyres because he's reported on the radio here saying that, we could have some tyre problems. I don't like the look of that front right. So everyone now just crossing the fingers that he gets to the end of the race. I know they've changed the colour of the car, but it's like when you change the name of the ship. It brings some bad luck.
Yeah.
So they need to iron out the reliability issues that Bottas had earlier on in this race. The tyres aren't with them this weekend. And really, Mercedes have locked into the fact that Red Bull and Ferrari haven't been as quick. Because they, for sure, without party mode this weekend, they wouldn't have got that big of a 1-2. Ocon's passed him. Ocon's round the outside into Le Combe and has got past Albon. It's Renault 4-5, and it could be Renault engine 4-5-6 if Lando Norris gets ahead, and that could be something a little bit dramatic, I reckon. What do you reckon?
I want that to happen.
Into the last two corners, through Blanchimont then, Lewis Hamilton won here in 2010 in mixed conditions and said, I like it here, I want to win again. He's done it again for the 5th time in 2020. Lewis Hamilton takes the checkered flag and wins the Belgium Grand Prix. And it's a 1-2 once again for Mercedes. Valtteri Bottas takes second to close the gap between him and Max Verstappen, who comes home in third. And he's been going around a lot, but why is it always you three? And Daniel Ricciardo gets 4th. Fantastic. And he gets the fastest lap of the race. Wow. Ricciardo, a 1:47.483 and gets the bonus point for fastest lap. Renault have found something this weekend that have made them unbeatable. Here comes Esteban Ocon to take 5th. Albon is 6th, and Ocon, no! Yes! Ocon, Albon, and Norris 7th. As the yellow flags are out, as of course with it being a 7-kilometre lap, they have to drive the wrong way down the pit lane in order to come in. So not the usual cool down lap. They have, because of the long lap here at Spa, they have to come down the opposite way of the pit lane into Parc Fermé. But Lewis Hamilton once again wins the Belgium Grand Prix.
Next race, Italy.
A terrific weekend if your name was Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes. 89 career victories. He's just 2 off of Michael Schumacher now. Going forward as well, it's all eyes on what Max Verstappen can do to stop Lewis Hamilton. Reminder, Lewis has won 5 out of the opening 7 races in a 17-race calendar. The last time that happened was Jenson Button in 2009 when he won 6 out of 7. He held on to the championship lead as well. Can Lewis do it again? His 7th title depends on it. Next time out, the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, which is going to be a massive pain for Ferrari after a weekend to forget. Join us next week. From us all here, Hamilton is triumphant in Belgium. Good night.